Hello, and welcome to another episode of a show that can really only be called The Popcorn King. So, today we're going to be doing a review of a film called Challengers, or the Zendaya threesome film. She doesn't actually have a threesome in the film. Spoiler alert. But yeah, let me tell you what this film is about. So, this is a movie about three young tennis stars, and it sort of chronicles like 15 years of their life, I guess, and their very uh, interesting sort of three-way relationship that they have from the beginning of their careers up until like later on in their careers. And it's all set around there's this sort of match. Called a challengers match. I guess it's a challengers tournament actually, and if you want to get to like the US Open, you've got to you want to do some challengers sort of games as well to sort of, I don't know, if you're already good enough to be in the US Open, you want to do challengers matches to sort of brush up and get a few wins. But if you're not good enough to be in the US Open, you have to win the challengers and then hopefully get the money and then go into the US Open. Something like that. It actually doesn't really matter because the film isn't really about tennis so much as it is about relationships. And yeah, one of the main lines in this film is tennis is like a relationship. But I think really what the film is trying to say is that relationships are like tennis, especially when you got three, and Zendaya's the ball. So who's in this film? Let me have a look. I'm going to use my phone just to look. If you don't want me to use my phone, please let me know in the comments, okay? So yeah, this film is starring Zendaya, Mike Feist, and Josh O'Connor. Those are really the three that you need to know. So this film is directed by Luca Guadagnino. He's the director of Call Me by My Name, Bones and all, every Timothy Chalamet film basically. So yeah, this film was really exciting to watch. I wasn't a huge fan of Call Me by My Name or Bones and all. I found the films a bit too slow. This film has got a sort of a palpable energy to it. The music is electronic and pulsing, maybe a tiny little bit too much sometimes. And yeah, the sexual tension. Like, you go into this film with the advertising thinking it's going to be full of sex and nudity, but the stuff is really only implied. There is a little bit of nudity, but actually the nudity in the film isn't even that sexual. It's just like shower, in the gym shower type scenes. But like the sexual tension between the three, you got Zendaya, Mike Feist, and Josh O'Connor. Is it Josh O'Connor? It's Josh O'Connor, who played Prince Charles, was it, in The Crown? Mike Feist, who played Riff, was it, in West Side Story? And Zendaya, who played MJ in Spider-Man. And yeah, the sexual tension between them is strong. It's palpable. All three ways. Like Mike Feist and Zendaya, and then Josh O'Connor and Zendaya, and then Mike Feist and Josh O'Connor, and there's just there's this admiration for each other. There's this competitiveness for each other. There's this love for each other. There's this hatred for each other, and yeah, it's really well shown, and they set up lots of things throughout the film so that when you get to the final set of the film, the big tennis match, it's really a masterclass in showing show don't tell, basically. Like, there's no words, it's just lots of tennis, but so much of a story is being conveyed through the tennis. Every reaction that each player is making, that Zendaya's making, and that Mike Feist and Josh O'Connor, like, all their reactions, all of their actions, every little glance of their eye, every angle from, like, the film does it basically every single angle a camera can do in a tennis match, which I found really interesting. And I just think this film does what I believe that director wanted to do in his other films better, because he's continuously exploring really complex relationships between human beings, and that's some of the best movies ever that do that, right? And he's doing that, but sometimes that can drag a little. It can be a bit sophoristic, if that's the right word. Probably not. But this film, it drives. It's jumping around timelines. It's non-linear. It's like the tension, the energy, everything is like driving forward, and it's kind of thrilling in the same way that it's often just people talking about their relationships with each other. There's not so much exposition. They really just show it, like the things happen. There's no, well, he said this to me and then she said that, but no, it's not really much of that. It's actually just they show these things and you see it, and it's all about the build up to the sex scenes. It's all about the build up to the big moments, and like, yeah, that's really exciting to watch. I think the acting was superb. Maybe the music gets in a way a tiny little bit here and there, just a little bit, but I really liked it. I think this was a great role for Zendaya. I think she kind of needed this role, because you don't just want to be Mary Jane Watson or that girl from Euphoria, right? You want to start building paths to Oscars one day. And I don't think anyone will get nominated for Oscar for this film necessarily. They might do, depends how the rest of the film slate turns out this year. But this is a really good start for her to be in these types of films that really suit her acting. So yeah, I give this a big recommendation. Please go watch it. The sexual tension is off the charts. I was sweating.